Well, hello and welcome to another Valley Forged. I'm talking about lasers. If you like lasers, then join this channel. And today I'm talking about my new Ortur Laser Master 3. Now, I'm going to give it a 24-hour review after using it for 24 hours. I bought this machine with my own money, so if you're tired of hearing the channels that get their machine for free, say a bunch of amazing things and then a couple small nitpicks and let it go, you're not going to get that here. I bought it so I can review it any way I want to, and I love it. Short answer, I really do. I have been using lasers for about 4 years. I've used 150 watt CO2 lasers all the way down to my 5.5 watt Jinmitsu. And I just love lasers. I love everything that they do. I'm always trying to learn more and do better things. And so this has been a learning curve for me, using the lower power machines. But I'm really, really happy with the 10 watt. Seems like a very good balance of power and price. We're talking about $700 for a 10 watt laser that can do a lot of things. And I'm going to show you some of that today. Now, what you're looking at on the screen is the special edition. Now, this probably will sell out pretty quick, but it's due to ship any time. So if you were to want to go get one of those after the video, when you do your research, whatever, it's a pretty cool looking machine. And I think they made 500 of them. So if I had it to do over again, yeah, I'd love to have it. But I also like doing work right now with the laser that I have. So yeah, it's a trade-off. But you see a price of $750 with a code, $50 code here. So that means it's really just a $700 machine. Vice, if you go to Amazon, you can see it's $699, but you can get a $50 coupon. So it's $50 more, you get the special edition. And it should be shipping at any time, so it shouldn't be too far different than when you get it. I made a link in their Ortur website. There's a special little rewards program. Anybody can join this. So I left a link in my description if you want to go buy yours from that. It's kind of a cute little gaming thing where, you leave a review, you subscribe to their newsletter, you get points for different things. Now it shows that I did these two, but my balance is still only 200. And I also left a review and didn't get any for that. So, does this thing actually work? I don't know, but this is part of my review. This is part of buying the machine. Customer service has been very good. I did have some issues with the motherboard, and they shipped one out, and it came in 3 days. It was so amazing. It came from China in 3 days. Great video to put that motherboard in, and yeah, customer service really worked really well with me and taught me a lot of things that I didn't know about the machine, which was also helpful. I did just purchase the extension kit. So that's one of the other parts of this review is they do have a good amount of accessories available. I picked up this. Now you can see these foldable feet. They do look really nice. They look really well done. But $100? Even on sale for $80? Ouch, that kind of hurts. Kind of puts the price closer to the 20 watt laser, which honestly, if you've got $1,300, might be a better deal for you. But we are talking about almost twice the price. But you start buying feet and things like that, you may end up getting close to that. So just keep that in mind. They do have a Z height adjuster, which is pretty cool. There's an enclosure here that just came out. It's only $160 for an enclosure. That's pretty darn good. Now, it won't work with the extension, so that won't work for me, but I'd love to review it. I'd love to review all of this stuff, and I'll just buy it if they don't send it to me. No big deal. All right, so let's get into the actual use of the machine. Now, and things that I like. I really like the look and feel of it. I mean, it looks like it's built to be a laser. Unlike, say, the Atom Stack, which I had before, that's just off-the-shelf parts. It wasn't literally built to be a laser like this one. And I like that look, and I like that feel. The Jinmitsu is the same way. The X tool is also like that. So, yeah, it's just something I like. Another thing that's very important to me is the distance between the laser head, the bottom of the thing, to your material. And this is the problem I had with the atom stack and why it ultimately would not work for me unless I did, some major fixing, was the bottom of the laser head was so low to the material that it would often catch. And, when you're trying to cut a piece of wood, especially these small pieces of wood, maybe 3 millimeter, they like to warp. And so they're going to catch it. They're going to have a little warp to them most all the time. And if your laser head is so close to that piece that it's going to catch, you could see, say you were cutting out a piece like this, not engraving it, say you wanted to cut it out. And then it just, right before you finished, it caught one little edge and destroyed the whole thing. How pissed off would you be? And time wasted, material wasted. I have not had that trouble with this Ortur, and that's super, super cool. And that's a huge win for me. The power to the price, I think this is just, you can't do better. In fact, I'm going to do a best laser for under $800 series and look at the lasers that are out there. I really think that as far as what you get for the price, it's just amazing. I like the laser head that it's so small, unlike say like the X tool, which has a large laser head. This one's small and you can just pull it off so easily. It just like one little turn and you can pull the thing off, which is nice so that you can make sure that the laser head is not getting dirty or things like that. And whether you want to put on or take off the nozzle, we're going to get into that a little bit later. But it has made things very simple. I'm extremely happy with this laser head. Now, as far as I can tell by looking at other reviews and doing my own work, it is the best in class when it comes to engraving. And you could do grayscale better than any other laser. I think it's... I'm very happy with the engraving so far. I'm not one that is very good at engraving. It's just not something I historically do. I do a lot of cutting, a lot of coasters, things like that. Maybe I'll engrave on the inside of a coaster or something. But I do a lot of cutting, a lot of layered projects. So maybe the engraving isn't as important to me as it is for other people, because most people use this for engraving. Best in class, as far as I can tell. Accessories. As I mentioned before, they have a lot of accessories. I think that's important so that, hey, as you use it and you want to expand it, there are things available. I mean, this thing just came out and they've already got a lot of accessories. That is good. As you see, I'm wearing the laser glasses right now. And these are the best laser glasses that I've seen. They fit all the way around your eyes. They're so easy to wear. I find myself just putting them on when I do the laser, even though I have some protection. They're so easy and they fit so well that I just don't mind wearing them. In fact, I even forgot I had them on. The focus lever, as you've probably seen in other videos, it's great. I mean, you just flip it down. There is some issues with it that I don't like, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. But it is easy. Easier than having, like, say, again, I'm going to mention the atom stack, just a card that you put underneath, easy to lose. The Jinmitsu has a place in the body where you could just stick it, which is nice. But if we're talking about convenience, well, we'll get into that when I get into the downsides. But it is pretty easy to get your focus. As I said in the beginning, customer service has been great. Now just realize that they are in China or in Europe. The guy I worked with had amazing English in Europe. Now that's if you have a major problem. If you just have a minor problem, you're going to be chatting back and forth with somebody in China, but they do a great job and I had no issues with that. And they quickly got me to someone who could send me the motherboard when I needed it. And frankly, teach me a lot of things, which I mentioned earlier. I also like that the fan shuts off when it's not in use. And in fact, it almost tells me, hey, it's ready to go get my piece, because it doesn't shut off right away. So it cools down first, but that gives it time. I put my laser just outside my patio and then I use it from the inside. So I don't have to worry about the smoke and everything being in my house or an enclosure or dealing with all of that. But that turning off of the fan tells me, okay, it's been a couple of minutes, go out and get your stuff, time for another run. So that's been cool. And overall, I just really enjoy using it. I just find myself wanting to use it all day long. I just can't wait to make another project, to do another thing. And to me, that really says that I've got what I wanted, because it hasn't always been the case that maybe your laser isn't easy and you just don't want to deal with it, right? Now, some of the other videos talk about the height. Now, I just put mine on a couple of boards on the sides, and it's been fantastic for me, no problems. I don't have the rotary for yet, so there's been no issue with trying to make it higher. But it's something to think about. If you don't want to just put it on something and you want feet like maybe comes with the D1 Pro, that might be something to look at. I don't use the Wi-Fi. It's pretty gimmicky on most machines. I think this is slightly better than most of them, but after reading the reviews, it just didn't seem to make sense. Maybe if they come out with a firmware upgrade that makes it really, really interactive with my regular Wi-Fi, then I'm down with it. It will make it easier than having a cord running out, but it's not that big a difference. Something I'm really not pleased about is the air assist. Now, on the positive side, having it run right through the machine is awesome. And every machine should do that if they can make it actually work well. The thing is that I'm not getting a lot of use out of the air assist. I have the Diwali, and it works great on my Jinmitsu. It actually way improves both the cutting and the engraving, just makes it cleaner both ways. And it's something that I would want to use on every machine. And I get no benefit out of using the air assist with this laser. As you can see on my, here, I'll pop up my board. They all pretty much look the same. I wasn't really seeing any benefit with the cutting. The company has told me to take off the nozzle when I'm not cutting, when I'm not using the air assist, excuse me. So either you always use the air assist or you never use the air assist, in my opinion, because who wants to go through the trouble of putting on and taking off that nozzle just to do a cut? And what if you're doing, they even suggested that you don't use the air assist when you're doing engraving, but almost every time I engrave, I'm also cutting out. So it's just like, there's something not right about the air assist here, and I am going to make my own, which is super simple, by the way. So don't let that be something that stops you from getting a machine. Making your own path to a better air assist is super simple. And as I said, I will get that in one of my next videos. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll compare it to their air assist and see, you know, can we get this air assist to work correctly? Because it's important to me. But again, not a deal breaker, because I'm fairly good at creating my own spot for that. And one more thing I want to say about the air assist. Now, it may just be that these normal air assist machines just aren't powerful enough. And maybe if you've got a huge tank or something, or 120 PSI coming down, that will work way better. And maybe you're just not getting enough flow through there. But I kind of like having the small compressor. It just fits easily. And it's worked great before, so I see no reason why it shouldn't still work. Again, the feet are $100 or on sale for $80. It's insane to me, because most machines come with feet, or just the price it is compared to how much the machine costs just seems absolutely ridiculous. Although, you know, it may be because these things cost a fortune to create. I mean, they do a lot, but I'm just not seeing the value there. The focus lever leaves marks on your material. And I guess that's one of the downsides of having this type of lever, and both the D1 and this one have that type of lever, where if you swing it down and then turn the knob so it drops onto your material, and then you swing it back up, if you're using something like paper or foam or something that is easily marked, then it's probably going to leave a mark in that. Now, if you're doing a fine engraving and you don't want any marks on it, that could be an issue. So I will probably create my own just for this type of reason, where I can just slide it underneath. Again, this is a little more difficult, but the other thing about that is that it doesn't swing down right next to the nozzle or where the laser actually is. So oftentimes when you're starting a project, it's at the max corner of your laser, a place where your material isn't, right? So when you swing it down, so you kind of got to push the laser onto the middle of your material somewhere, check it, and then home it again, and then start your projects. It's a bit inconvenient, and it would be easier if you just had something attached that did not leave a mark, right? And it doesn't have a spot at the center where the laser is, a laser guide. Now, most lasers for this price don't, but the D1 Pro does. So I think that's very useful, especially like framing whatever you're going to frame. I would love to see that added on here. I don't think it would be that expensive. And I could see the huge benefit of that. Now, I don't have a D1 Pro, and I realize there's issues with that make it not as good as the Ortur and vice versa. I hope to have them both to review at some point, and I'll put them up against each other. But as far as I can tell, most of the 10-watt lasers, they do about the same job when it comes to cutting. And I showed you earlier my card. I had the atom stack on there. It pretty much cut-wise did the exact same thing as the Ortur. Difference being that I was able to put the air assist onto the atom stack and make it way better and just way cleaner. So I'm sure I'll be able to do that on the Laser Master 3, but I just wanted to make that note. Other people have said, things like they didn't like that it's a female to female or a male to male USB cord. That I could care less about. I've got an extension that I had anyways. And I don't see that as being a huge issue. But, I think this is one of those things where they were like, oh, we're going to say everything good about this machine, and then we're going to pick a few things that we can say that don't really matter. Just my opinion, this just seems to be the game these days. So everything I'm telling you here is just things that I experienced. But I can say that it's really fast, up to 20,000 millimeters per minute. It's hard for me to get used to these huge numbers because I'm used to working on a CO2 laser, but it does engrave really fast. And because of this small laser head, it really just doesn't shake the machine. So, with the D1 Pro, you can see that thing is huge. Can you imagine it going 20,000 millimeters per minute? It's just going to shake the whole machine. And it's just normal. I mean, I guess you'd say that's physics, right? A lot of you guys out there probably understand. It's probably not a good idea. It's much bigger, heavier, and this thing just flows. I really enjoy watching it. I enjoy using it. That's the end here. I've been pretty happy with everything except for the one issue that I had with the motherboard. I mean, to be honest, it's frustrating getting something and it not work right away. Most people do not have that issue, but I did want to mention it as this is just a super fair review. And there's a lot of things that I'm leaving out here because this is just a normal review after 24 hours. I'm like, okay, what are the things that are on my mind that are great about it, not great about it? I could go on all day. Overall, like I said, very happy with it. And I'm just already chomping at the bit to go make more stuff. So I will let me know what you think about it. And I will be making lots more videos about this particular machine, about 10-watt lasers as well, and about just laser stuff in general. So anything you guys want to check out, leave it in the description, and I'll probably make a video on it. All right, see you in the next one.